You know that running commentary in your head that turns everything into a problem. It's not telling you what things mean, it's making up stories about blank pages. This lesson suggests that nothing we see actually has inherent meaning. All meaning is created by our minds. The practice involves looking at objects around you and declaring that they don't mean anything, breaking the unconscious habit of constant mental interpretation. Your mind is like someone reading a newspaper over your shoulder, constantly whispering dramatic interpretations of everything you see. But what if the newspaper was actually blank, and all the drama was just coming from the voice? Think about this. You walk into a meeting and see your colleague's expression. Instantly, your mind narrates, "She looks annoyed, probably about my proposal yesterday." Your stomach tightens. You start rehearsing a defense. You're already planning how to bring it up casually, how to explain yourself. Your shoulders are up near your ears. Your breathing gets shallow. By the time she says, "Good morning," cheerfully, you've already fought an entire battle. A battle that existed nowhere but in your interpretation of a facial expression that might have just been concentration, or hunger, or her remembering she left the coffee pot on. We all have this narrator. It's the voice that sees your boss's closed door and whispers, "You're in trouble." The one that spots an unread text from your partner and immediately scripts a confrontation. It turns a neutral email into evidence of disrespect, a quiet dinner into proof of relationship problems. Here's what's fascinating. We trust this narrator completely. We never question its credentials. We just assume that because it's in our head, speaking with such authority, it must be telling us the truth about what things mean. But watch what happens when you catch it in action. "Yesterday, I saw my neighbor quickly look away when we crossed paths." The narrator immediately launched into its routine. "He's upset about the fence thing. He thinks I'm a bad neighbor. This is going to get awkward." My chest got tight. I started planning an awkward conversation about property lines. Then I remembered something. The same neighbor had looked away last month, and my narrator had decided he was judging my unmowed lawn. The month before that, it was definitely about my barking dog. Each time, completely different story. Same neutral action. The narrator doesn't report news. It creates it. There's this strange relief when you first realize how much of your stress comes from the commentary, not the actual events. It's like discovering that the horror movie you've been watching is actually just someone making shadow puppets on the wall. We spend so much energy responding to meanings that aren't even there. That terse email from your client, your mind has already decided they're unhappy, shopping for another vendor, preparing to complain. You're drafting apologies, planning damage control, losing sleep. Then they reply, "Sounds great. Was just in a rush earlier." The exhaustion isn't from what happened. It's from the story you told yourself about what happened. Think about how much of your day is spent in these manufactured dramas. The coffee maker that breaks right when you need it most, except the coffee maker doesn't know it's the worst possible timing. That's your narrator adding the soundtrack. The traffic that's deliberately making you late, except traffic doesn't have intentions. The universe isn't conspiring. Your narrator is just very, very busy. Here's where it gets interesting. There's actually a gap between seeing something and assigning it meaning. It's tiny, maybe a fraction of a second, but it's there. In that gap lies your freedom. Right now, look at something near you. Maybe it's a pen. Before your mind says, pen, or blue, or cheap, or reminds me I need to finish that report, there's a moment where it's just there. Shape and color existing without story. That gap is always available, between your colleague's expression and your interpretation, between the email and the narrative, between seeing and storytelling. When you start noticing this gap, something shifts. You realize you've been living in a world of your own commentary, responding to your own interpretations as if they were facts. The newspaper analogy becomes even more apt. You've been reacting to headlines that you wrote yourself. This is what the practice offers, a way to strip away the automatic meaning making and see what's actually there. Not to make you passive or indifferent, but to give you choice. Real choice. The choice to respond to what's actually happening instead of to your story about what's happening. When you look at a table and say, this table doesn't mean anything, you're not denying its function. You're recognizing that all the other meanings, the memories attached to it, what it says about your taste, whether it makes you successful or struggling, all of that is added by your mind. The table is just being a table. The same with everything else. That expression on someone's face is just an arrangement of features. That tone in the email is just words on a screen. Your bank balance is just numbers. None of it means what your narrator says it means. This isn't about becoming detached or not caring. It's about discovering that when you stop automatically assigning meaning to everything, the mental noise quiets. And in that quiet, you discover a spacious neutrality where you can actually choose how to respond instead of being hijacked by stories your mind creates. The unexpected peace comes when you stop being your own breaking news anchor. When you realize that most of the drama in your life is generated by the voice reading the blank newspaper over your shoulder. That colleague from the beginning. Maybe she was concentrated. Maybe she was annoyed. Maybe she was thinking about lunch. But until she actually says something, you don't know. And more importantly, you don't need to know. You don't need to pre-suffer, pre-defend, pre-anything. You can just be present with what is, without the overlay of what it supposedly means. This is the gift hidden in this simple practice. Every time you look at something and recognize that it doesn't inherently mean anything, you're reclaiming authority from the narrator. You're choosing presence over projection, reality over story. The world becomes lighter when you stop carrying the weight of all those meanings. Your mind becomes quieter when it's not constantly generating interpretations. And you become freer when you realize that the prison was never locked. You were just believing the narrator who kept telling you it was. The newspaper is blank. It's always been blank, and recognizing this might be the beginning of the peace you've been looking for in all the wrong places, out there in the world of meanings, instead of here in the space before meaning takes hold. If you'd like more teachings and guided practices like this, you can like the video and subscribe. And now, we'll move into a short guided meditation. Let yourself settle into this moment. Feel your body finding its place, whether sitting or lying down. No need to adjust anything. Just arrive. Let your breath come naturally. No special way of breathing. Just notice it happening on its own. Feel the weight of your body being held, the surface beneath you doing all the work. You can let go. Notice any tension in your shoulders, in your jaw, In your forehead, just notice. Nothing to fix. Allow your eyes to soften, whether open or closed. Let them rest. Right now, in this moment, there's nothing you need to figure out. No problems to solve. No meanings to assign. Just sensation, just breath. Just being here. If the narrator starts up, telling you what this means, whether you're doing it right, what you should be feeling, just notice. Like someone reading a newspaper in the distance. You don't have to listen. Let yourself rest in the space before meaning. The quiet place where things just are. Feel your breath moving in and out, not because it means anything. Just because that's what breath does. Notice any sounds around you. Not good sounds or bad sounds, just vibrations in the air. Your body knowing how to be a body, your breath knowing how to breathe. Everything functioning without your commentary. There's peace in this. In letting things be without story. Stay here as long as feels good. When you're ready to move, move gently. When you're ready to return to your day, return softly. The quiet is always here. The space before meaning. You can find it anytime you remember to look. Thank you for practicing with us today. If you'd like, there's a link to a free digital copy of ACIM in the description. And if this video resonated with you, please comment. I am grateful. Thank you for spending this time with me, exploring the space between seeing and storytelling. As you move through your day, be gentle with yourself when you catch the narrator spinning its tales. Each moment of recognition is a moment of freedom. Take care, and I'll see you next time.